on your morning drive. This is Robby and Rexrode. With Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's showtime.
And welcome into the Thursday edition of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Busy night in sports last night. Some developments in sports here locally yesterday as well. We'll get to that here in just a few minutes. Joe Rexrode, how are you doing? What's going on? You look great today, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. I had to wear a shirt because there's the Poyle Heinz presser today rather than my usual tank top with mustard on it. Yeah, good. I mean, I almost stayed up for the whole thing with Calgary and Edmonton. I stayed up for the Warriors, Mavs blowout. The Rangers-Canes game was amazing the series was won last night. The Rangers had a chance to steal the series. The Canes are going to win the series because the Rangers blew it and somehow let Sebastian Aho just get free with 2 minutes left in a 1-0 game in the third period of a playoff game. So
may want to put a body on that guy.
Yep. And the Warriors looked awfully good, but it's 6-5. I'm watching McDavid to Draisaitl, and it's like, I got to go to bed, but man, I don't want to go to bed, and I went to bed. And then I find out it's 9-6 for a final.
Well, I looked down, it was 5-1 Calgary, or whatever it was, and I was like, okay, well, this one's over.
Right.
And then you battle all the way back.
Out.
Yeah, Smith's out. You battle all the way back. And Ryan Whitney, who used to play for Edmonton, and he played for Pittsburgh, and now he's with Barstool doing Spit and Chicklets with Bissonnette and all that stuff. He's a big Oilers guy. And I saw his tweet this morning. He said, I would have rather lost 37-0 than to come back and tie that thing 6-6 and then lose 9-6. It's a tough one for Edmonton last night. Not much defense out there. It was funny because McDavid got up at the morning skate yesterday, and he was like, yeah, I expect this game to probably be a tight checking series. Final score is 9-6 last night.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the general sentiment on that series, which is basically just a bad matchup for Edmonton, is probably going to come true. But, yeah, I mean, when you do that, think about what you could have done for yourself and done to your opponent if you came back all the way and then won that game.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just revert to, oh, that's right, can't stop anyone, and, yeah, 9 freaking goals.
Well, the last time, I think in the regular season that Edmonton walked in there, they gave up 9 as well. So you're talking about, I think, 2 trips in a row to Calgary that you've given up 9. That's probably not a very good sign.
Is this why scoring's up in the NHL, just because Edmonton's in it?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's 15 goals last night in the Battle of Alberta, which, hey, I'm here for. If every game wants to be, some variation of 9-6 or 8-7 or whatever you want to do, cool. Sign me up for it.
Toe Blake rolling around his grave, man. This is not what the battle for Alberta is supposed to be.
It says they just threw up a graphic on ESPN. 15 goals, the most combined goals in a playoff game since '93.
There you go. A lot of stuff. A lot of first stuff since the '90s this year in the NHL.
No question about it. Last night did nothing but confirm my belief, Joe Rexrode, that this series between the Warriors and the Mavs is not going to last very long. Like 4-1 is what I said yesterday. I'm gonna stick with that one. I'm gonna say the Mavs get 1.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I still think it could be better than that. The Mavs are weird. Like, they either destroy you or get destroyed by you. I mean, look at the Phoenix series.
Yeah.
Look, game 1 of that series was horrific for them. And then when you saw how it ended, look at the Warriors a week ago. I mean, it may as well have been Memphis Grizzlies against Memphis Tigers in that game, So I understand. I mean, you said it before this game. People who watch that game and say that, I don't want to hear you because, how these series can go. But the Warriors are better. There's no doubt. They have more weapons, and I loved what they did. I mean, shoot, they were boxing. They went boxing 1, man. I love the boxing 1 so much. And that's a great team to box and 1 against, as long as they don't have a couple shooters absolutely going off. The Mavs are going to launch. And on a given night when they don't go 11 for 48 from 3, if they go 20 for 48, well, they're probably going to beat you. But the boxing one. So awesome.
Bring it back full time.
And, with the boxing one, what that means is, for those of you out there who aren't familiar with zone defenses largely played in middle school, one player is just guarded straight up, probably by your best defender, and then everybody else is basically in a box. And then you're going to double that player whenever he gets into your area as much as you can. And they made it troublesome for him.
I thought for a long time yesterday that Luka Doncic was so relaxed and ready for this game that he was out at a San Francisco area bar having beer before the game.
I so badly wanted him to actually be out.
It turns out that wasn't true. It was a picture from a few months ago, I guess, with him and Boban out there. But I was really hoping that was true, that he was just out there on the day of a playoff game yesterday, just tossing back a few beers, ready to go.
And what
no
if he
care
was?
in the world.
And what if he was?
He can do whatever he wants.
Fine. I mean, it's like if you have 3 donuts the day of a game, or a couple beers,
What's the difference?
Carb up.
Yeah, have a nap, have some water, and get your butt out there. You're fine. I'm glad you said that, actually, because I was making jokes about him and the beers last night on Twitter, and people probably think that I actually thought he had beers yesterday. So now I'm going to make sure to
clarifying
follow
statement
up and say, yes, I know he wasn't actually there last night.
Didn't shoot all that well. I think he was 6 of 18 yesterday. So Luka will shoot better as the series goes on, I think.
Yeah, and obviously he's great. I mean, they need, look, you got to have Dinwiddie and Brunson and Finney-Smith. Those guys have got to be hot from outside. It's a make-miss. But I think they're going to get a couple.
One.
Okay. You may be right.
Got Game 2 coming up tonight in a couple of different avenues. Got Colorado and St. Louis coming up tonight. Looking forward to that one in Game 2. And then, of course, Tampa Bay and Florida as well in the NHL. So we'll see if the Panthers and or the Blues can make this thing interesting and tie up the series at 1 tonight. It kind of felt like St. Louis had an opportunity to do that the other night with the way Jordan Bennington played, but we'll see if they can respond in Game 2 coming up. And then you have Game 2 between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics tonight as well. So we'll see. I haven't seen anything on Al Horford and Marcus Smart. I have no clue as to whether or not they're going to be available for the Celtics in Game 2, but they probably need to be to avoid going down 0-2 tonight in Miami.
So would you rather, as a Miami Heat fan, them play or not play?
Well, I would rather them not play.
Yeah, but then you got to hear from the Celtics fans making excuses.
I don't care. Just win the series. It's the only thing I care about.
I think that's the right way to look at it.
Bob on Twitter says, beautiful night for soccer in the Music City last night. Shout out to Bob. I hadn't heard from you from a while on Twitter. Good to hear from you.
We haven't heard from Bob for a while.
Nice W last night for Nashville SC. The unbeaten streak at home. I mean, we're already past like an absurd amount of time. I want to say that you're in like the 500 days range. 560 days unbeaten at home for Nashville SC. So they have either won or have tied at home all throughout last year and this year as well. 560 days unbeaten at home. Obviously with the new park at Geodis Park, unbeaten at home right now as well. Pretty good start for Nashville SC in the new home park.
Yeah, what a night of you got that. It looks like a great atmosphere. Big win for them. Another one this weekend. Got I didn't make it to Sting, which stinks. You did make it to Justin Bieber, which quick review on that.
Biebs was amazing. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. My 13-year-old self was just loving it. I'm wearing my Justin Bieber sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
Which I paid way too much for, but I just had to.
Bunch of believers.
You bought it last night?
Oh, of course I did.
The concert buy.
Listen, the tickets were free, so it's like.
Yeah. So and plus, I mean, local businesses are so afraid of you that, that.
Shout out to M Street Entertainment. It's their company, hospitality company. There we go. It's early this morning, guys. I'm struggling. The lady called me when I had my red rant yesterday, and great customer service. She called me, made sure everything was okay. I got the $120 back on my card.
Problem solved.
Sending me a gift card. Very, very nice. If I need anything, so.
Your rants really are really prosperous for you. That must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. People listen.
Your rants pay off.
People listen.
Yes. Do not mess
with Michelle.
With Michelle.
By the way, we got a texter that said Saban just blew up college football. He's right, but he should not have thrown gas on the sport and flash torched it. It's over now. He better have the proof to back it up.
He's right? What is he right about? This is previewing later in the show. And by the way, this is a great day to have Mitch Light in. We're going to have Mitch Light in for an hour.
We are. This is a fantastic day. Great timing by Rexrode.
Yeah. I had a feeling that Saban was going to have a meltdown the night before.
Yes.
So Mitch Light will be in Athletic, college football editor, my editor at The Athletic, Nashvilleian, Vanderbilt grad, and college football expert for an hour from 8 to 9. And, yeah, we got Dion out there taking shots back at Saban. Saban just melting down. I mean, it's interesting. Thank you, Nick.
I do love that man. I really do. He's never short on content. There's always something going on.
I mean,
Saban was mad last night.
We need to call an emergency Aflac commercial quickly here.
Will in Bellevue on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, nice road win, Joe. You can read Skip Stillman like a book. First off, nice use of Skip Stillman. It's coming from Will from Bellevue. Did you win yesterday on Jared versus Joe?
I did win yesterday. Boy. Yeah, and
the losing streak is over.
Yeah, not just one, but I mean it was embarrassing. Like I told him, I was like, this is like Woody Hayes. Why'd you go for 2 to win 50-14? Because I couldn't go for 3. So yeah. There you go.
Cody and
that happened in 1968.
Cody in all capital letters. Guys, what are we going to do? Derrick Henry is holding out per Stillman.
Oh, good God. I mean, again, like I said to him on Jared versus Joe, like, you must have been amazing. I don't know, like, someone Jared's age, like, did you play with Star Wars toys?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, you must have been amazing, like my brother had the Ewok Village. Like, you must have been amazing at creating these magical fantasy worlds. It's just
like J.K. Rowling out there.
I mean, by the end of the show, yesterday, it was like, oh my God, what are they going to do with this Derrick Henry holdout? What is happening? Vrabel and Henry clearly hate each other.
God.
Oh, they're at each other's throats.
Oh, great stuff.
Thank you, Charlie Weiss.
There was a development yesterday in Nashville sports that has taken Twitter, especially Pred's Twitter, by storm.
Oh, boy.
What a story. Yesterday, broken by Adam Vingan. We'll get into that coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
At some point, it's a combination of who did you play and what does your skill set look like.
Get the best analysis of the big stories in the sports world with ESPN's Jason Fitz.
If you reach for a quarterback in the draft because you need one, you're going to set your franchise back 5 years.
Join Fitzy every Wednesday at 4:30. Presented by Blood Assurance. Jason Fitz.
I am 5'9.5"
on ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Staples is evolving to Staples Connect, a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
Blood Assurance, your community nonprofit blood center, will be at the Bellevue Picnic this Saturday, May 21st, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and will be giving away 2 pairs of tickets to an upcoming Nashville SC game. Save 3 lives in your community and be entered to win when you donate with Blood Assurance. This Saturday at the Bellevue Picnic. Visit bloodassurance.org/picnic to sign up.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. There's no better time to upgrade your essential home systems than this month at Hiller. Until the end of May, Hiller is offering 0 interest for 60 months on select new HVAC systems, 0 interest for 12 months on new tankless water heaters, and 0 interest for 12 months on new whole home generators. If you know you need a new system for your home, do it this month. These financing offers are available for a limited time only. You stay comfortable and cool all summer and handle the payments later. Visit happyhiller.com for all the details. As always, happy you'll be here. The service is free. That's Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
I come from a military family.
That's Stasha at Genesis Diamonds talking about the Hero Rewards program at Genesis, providing special discounts every day for heroes in uniform.
Whatever their budget is, we're going to make sure it stretches the best for them and that they will get the most beautiful ring at the best value.
Special hero pricing on any item extends to all military plus police, fire, and first responders.
They make us have the great life we have, and we are eternally grateful for that.
Genesis Hero Rewards program and free services is yours for life, no matter where you move.
Travel anywhere in the the world, we're one phone call away. So no matter where you're stationed, if you're military or if you're a police officer and you go to another state, we're going to take good care of you.
Of course, it doesn't hurt that Genesis owner Boaz Ramon is himself a veteran of the Israeli army.
Boaz, having served in the military, appreciates the military and what they do for us.
Genesis Diamonds, where our heroes in uniform get red carpet pricing and white glove treatment every day of the year.
Because they're there for us.
Genesis Diamonds and pre-owned Rolexes, continuously voted best jewelry store and best place to buy an engagement ring. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through May 24th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get this. Right now, Kohl's has the lowest prices of the season, and I just saved big. I got my kids Jumping Beans must-haves for under $5. Found myself some tees and tank tops for $5.99, and got 60% off patio furniture. The best part? I didn't need any coupons. I earned Kohl's Cash, and I got everything with free store pickup. So yeah, you could say today was a good day. Select styles. Ends May 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
It's on. It's happening. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
Get out of the way. I'm watching the game.
Presented by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Hey, Preds fans.
Sliding across to make the save is Sarah.
You can now hear Nashville's best sports talk.
The backhander, he scores!
And every Predators game on 106.3 FM.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty.
From downtown Nashville to Rutherford and Williamson counties.
Duchesne with the overtime winner.
Catch all the action on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezvik here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. We are streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Joe, some interesting developments on the John Hines front heading into the Hines and Poyle press conference today. Adam Vingan of The Athletic reporting yesterday says, said this on Twitter, quote, John Hines' expiring contract includes a 1-year team option, but I am hearing that the Predators have signed Hines to a new multi-year contract. So not only have the Predators brought John Hines back, it appears, according to Adam Vingan, they have signed him to a multi-year contract as well. What is your reaction to the Predators giving Hines a new deal, according to Adam Vingan, your coworker at The Athletic?
I'm a little surprised by that. I would have guessed just pick up the option and go from there. To me, it's a vote of confidence for John Hines.
And an actual vote of confidence, not like a GM giving him the vote of confidence right before you fire him.
Exactly. It's literally a vote of confidence. So I'm a little surprised, but again, I would like, I'd like details we probably won't get. Multi-year means how many years? What's he getting paid to? Which is always interesting. I mean, I really wish that, coach salaries, which are, of course, completely reported in college athletic, but that's a different deal, for public universities. But I'd love in pro sports if we could get fully reported coach salaries. Like, what do you think Hines makes? I know that capfriendly.com has as many of the NHL coach salaries as it can gather, including a cool $5 million for Todd McClellan of the Kings, which looks like the biggest salary in the league that I can see, but there's a lot that aren't reported. Around here, what do you think? 2, 3?
Probably, if I had to, I have no clue, but I would guess somewhere around 3, 3.5.
Yeah. The low end is like Bruce Boudreau per Cap Friendly, $2 million.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, but anyway, that's just on a tangent that I just went on.
It's okay.
But look, I'm not personally. I don't find this to be some huge problem or issue. I'm a little surprised because it's, again, in college sports, you do these things because you're always recruiting and because you can never have it perceived that your coach might be leaving, because then you're not going to get the players. That has nothing to do with pro sports. So to me, it's like just go year for year unless you're an incredible coach, who's had wild success, who you're worried about other teams trying to steal away. If that's not the case, I mean, okay, do a good job this year, and you keep your job next year. That's how I'd do it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of thoughts on this. We've talked about this ad nauseum here on the show. I like John Hines. I think John Hines has done a really good job. I would not have done this. I'm not giving John Hines a multi-year contract extension. And, I just think you go into next year, you pick up the option. That's why you have the option, is to be able to pick it up, and you see how it goes next year. And if it goes well and you feel like your team's still making progress, then you discuss a new multi-year contract at that point. And, look, maybe it's as soon as things are going really well in the first half of next season, and you think to yourself, all right, well, he's shown me enough. Let's go. Let's get a new multi-year contract done. Now you put yourself in a situation where if it starts to fall apart on you and it doesn't go well next year, well, you've got a new multi-year contract that you've just given your coach, and if you did want to move on at some point, a buyout has come along with that. So,
well, that's another question I have.
Yeah,
what's that look like in the NHL? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't think there was there are people breaking down the door to go get John Hines. Now we've seen this work out, in different ways before, and I did think of, not to compare the situation exactly because it's not the same, but I did think of the Barry Trotz situation where he went into that last year in Washington on a lame duck deal. It was the last year of his contract, and Washington had no interest in picking it up, and then all of a sudden, it was, he's making a run to the Stanley Cup. Let's see if we can get him to sign to a contract. And then Barry Trotz basically told him to pound sand after the season and went on to New York. Now, I'm not saying that.
I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
You're predicting a
Brad's
cup.
going to the Cup next year? Yeah. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but there is a scenario where you
offend the coach.
You offend the coach. You let this thing play out. And John Hines has a good year next year. Say the Predators win a playoff round, and he looks around and says, you know what? I think I'll go somewhere else. That could happen. I don't think it would happen, but that could happen. So that's kind of the counterpoint that you can make to the argument I'm throwing out there. I don't know. I would not have picked up, or I would not have given a multi-year extension. I would have picked up the option and see how it went next year and then made my decision from there. That's me.
Yeah, it makes sense. But look, I think I think this reflects the feeling about John Hines in the building, which is, I don't know that anyone thinks, okay, this is the next great thing, and the Predator. David Poile said things not quite to that effect, but feel very lucky that we got John Hines when they hired him. When he hadn't done a lot, he had been with the Devils, a pretty bad rebuilding Devils team. So I don't think it's that, but I think that it's pretty I'd say consistent for people. If you talk to people who have an inkling of what goes on in there, it's pretty. People can't separate. Some people really can't separate coaching from team building. They're just two totally different jobs, and and one of those jobs has not been done very well here, and one of them, to me, has been done pretty well here.
What this also tells me, and I saw Alex Doherty of A to Z Sports put this out yesterday, and I agree. This also tells me that not that you need to base all your decisions off this if you're Poile and the Predators, but in the exit meetings with the players, it tells me that they were pretty happy with John Hines. That's
a good point.
Duchesne, Forsberg, those guys, and that's another part of this. If Forsberg, let's say you're trying to make a decision on Forsberg, or Forsberg's trying to make a decision to sign with you, if he really doesn't like John Hines, what are you doing on that point if you're David Poile?
I don't think you're doing this.
I don't know if you're doing this. You're picking up the option probably, but I don't know if you're doing this. So I don't know. It tells me that the players seem to really like what he's brought to the table. Again, your management, you can't always base your decision on that. Sometimes you have to do what you feel like is the best direction for the team. But it tells me that the players are pretty happy with John Hines.
Yeah, which to me, that adds up with what I've heard from people. That adds up with what we've seen, I think. And look, with John Hines, I think one thing that's been pretty apparent from the start is there's a directness with him. There's an even-keeled directness with him that, look, I guess for us in media, like I prefer people who rant and rave and scream F-bombs a little bit. Like, give me some Vrabel on the practice field. Yep. Oh, by the way, did you see the Titans video of Vrabel? Yeah. I was like, come on. That video could have been amazing. You gotta
doctor this thing up to put that out there.
Okay, fellas, here we go. Oh, good practice, guys. It was like they did the beginning and the end.
You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, there was some good. But I mean, come on, he's amazing out there. Like, give the people some bleeps. But anyway, Hines is very, very level. But I think he's direct and like with Laviolette, for example, you want to compare the two? I think Laviolette is a big-time motivator. Like, he comes up with stuff to get guys going, and I think it can be very effective, clearly. And then it can also wear off. I think Hines is very level, and, like, this is the expectation, and he sticks to it. And he sticks to it with his actions.
He's extremely process-oriented.
Oh, no question. I mean, and that's the thing. It gets frustrating for people, too, because they could lose a game 6-1, or they could win a game 5-2, and he could be happier with the loss because of how they played. I mean, sometimes that happens in sports. But for him, it is very much like, what was the game? What was the minute-by-minute, the game that they iced, as he likes to say.
Yeah.
So, there's things about it that I guess I can see from the outside. You get frustrated, especially when things aren't going well. And I do think the last month it wasn't good, and I would like to know more about that. But overall, again, said it a million times. I think it's very simple. I think he's done a good job.
Let's go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Jaden, who wants to weigh in. Jaden, thanks for calling into Robby and Rexrode.
Hey, guys. Good morning. I'll start off by saying, hey, Joe, I'm not going to give a crazy take like your buddy Jared does about the coach here. So, but I will say, from what we've seen from John Hines in the past 3 years, I think it's subpar. I don't think it's like the greatest thing, but I agree with y'all that he's done a pretty good job. I don't think firing him is the best idea, but giving him a potential, I know it's not official, but a potential 6-year contract when you have the 1-year option, winning 3 playoff games as the head coach so far in your tenure, I just can't see that as a good idea. Give him the 1-year option and see how he does this year, and then like you said, Robby, maybe after this year you sign him to a multi-year extension like they're planning on doing now. But I can't see it as a good idea in the future from what we've seen so far from John Hines. I mean, he's done a good job, but I don't think quite good enough, and I'll leave it there.
Hey, thanks for the call, Jaden. I appreciate it. He mentioned the 6-year extension there. That was getting floated around on Pred's Twitter last night. I have not seen that officially reported anywhere. So
that's a number.
That would be a number. Like 6 year. If they gave him a 6-year extension, I got a problem with that.
Wow.
You can't be giving somebody a 6-year contract extension coaching when you haven't won a playoff round yet.
That's a number. Yeah.
So, but again, I have no clue as to whether or not that's true.
Where'd that originate?
It was floating all around Pred's Twitter last night, and I have not seen that number officially reported.
Pred's Facebook says lifetime deal and part ownership of the team. What is Pred's TikTok saying?
I have no clue.
He is now the mayor of Nashville.
We'll continue to take your thoughts. 615-737-1025. What's your reaction to the Predators giving a multi-year contract extension to John Hines? We'll get to more of that coming up next. 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode. You're on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Power buys are back at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get limited time savings on top tools like $150 off their Yellow Jacket 3-ton floor jack or $100 off Metaltech 6-foot Baker-style scaffolding.
Realizing Geico's great service and licensed agents are available at your fingertips is like realizing the plastic piece that comes with your pizza isn't a tiny doll table. It's to keep the box from touching the pizza.
Hey, the pizza's stuck to the box. Where's that little plastic thing? Dolly needed it for her tea party.
It's something that's been right there in front of you all along, like the dedicated Geico claims team available to you in the event of an accident to get you back on the road quickly, or how your smartphone charges faster when you put it on airplane mode.
Wow, what if I put it on rocket mode?
It's something you can't believe you never realized before, like how Geico's industry-leading app lets you pay your bill, file a claim, manage your policy, or summon help when you need it. Or how those holes in your shower caddy are there so you can store your shampoo bottles upside down.
Showers happen fast when you're not waiting on shampoo.
Great service. It's just one of the many reasons to switch to Geico. They're all right there in front of you.
Family Leisure invites you to vacation at home with your family with a new spa, pool, patio furniture, or wood play gym this summer.
I really want a spa.
Family Leisure has 40 spas on display from 3 of the biggest brand names: Artesian, Best Spas, and American Select. Prices starting as low as $29.99.
What about above ground pools?
Family Leisure has hundreds of pools in stock and on sale. Guaranteed installation before Memorial Day, starting as low as $29.99. Installed.
Wow, that's great.
If you're looking at a spa, I want some new patio furniture. Family Leisure has patio furniture from all the big brand names like Hanneman, Woodard, Jensen, and Apricity. There's more than 100 sets on display to choose from with free delivery.
That sounds good to me too. And maybe a new Sabre infrared grill to go with it?
We really should look at the wood play gym for the kids. Family Leisure has the Diamond Point swing set on sale at only $24.99 installed. It's Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale going on now at both huge locations, Franklin and Antioch.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Cobra, featuring the new LTDX drivers, engineered for the longest total distance with extreme forgiveness. Internal weights create the power core, and hot face technology delivers faster ball speeds at every contact point. 4 drivers to fit every golfer's needs. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Looking for a career with purpose or have that passion for youth development? Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee provides a safe place where youth gain the tools to learn, lead, and reach their full potential. And that starts with you, offering competitive pay and free after-school care for employees. Learn more at bgcmt.org.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN.
Welcome into the DDC.
Stone Company is delivered.
There's a new way to hear 102.5 The Game. Nashville's best sports talk on 106.3 FM. From downtown Nashville to Spring Hill on I-65 and to Murfreesboro on I-24. You now have 2 choices to hear our great sports programming.
Get the extra point, no problem.
And the Nashville Predators.
He scores!
Check out 106.3 now and save it as a preset.
Hey, this is Matthias Ekholm. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are live from the Hillside Medical Game Studio here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Taking your reaction to Adam Vingan of The Athletics report that the Nashville Predators have signed John Hines to a multi-year contract extension. David in Murfreesboro texting in says, "Are you kidding me? With Barry Trotz still out there?" This is coming from David in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, maybe this kind of tells you that we've kind of known this, haven't we?
Yeah.
That Trotz to Nashville's not happening.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was going to happen.
I think
ever.
there was a chance it was going to happen if it was management. I think management would be the way that happens. But going down the door again as coach, I think he's closed that door. I think the Predators have closed that door, and they're on to something else. Now, look, would I have liked to see Barry Trotz come back as head coach? Yeah. Guy's awesome. But I think the Trotzy has probably closed that door up a little bit.
I wonder, this is one of those situations. something just came to mind. Again, I keep going Titans and Preds comparisons. Like, will this turn into like the Brady thing, where, like some people are convinced that Brady he was all in on the Titans, even though there's really no evidence at all of that. Like, is that because if you're a Preds fan who's like, who believes that Trotz wanted to come back here, and the Preds are like, no, thanks, well, then you should be mad. But I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's how it went.
But there's if there's no one that's going to come out and lay it out for us on all the conversations and what somebody was thinking, then you have enough of that uncertainty in there that somebody can find that as a reason for outrage if they want.
Yeah. Scott in Hopkinsville texting in says, Hines got the deal AJ was looking for. 4 years, $120 million guaranteed. If so, congratulations to him.
See, Hines, a little bit less tweeting. Get that money, man.
That's right. Max in Kentucky says, I know you can't run a business based on emotions, but what does it say if a Forsberg deal gets done all of a sudden after this extension? So I guess Forsberg waiting on to see what happens for Hines, and he signs immediately after this?
Well, I don't expect Forsberg's deal, good or bad, to be, like oh, good. Well, sign me up.
Let's go.
Now I totally agree with what you said earlier, which is, like, I don't think you do this unless you feel pretty good about Forsberg feeling pretty good about John Hines.
April in Portland texting in says, if Adams' information is true, it's disappointing. Hines has been fine, but I'm not a fan. It doesn't make sense to add years to a contract when they don't have to. I would have been fine with an additional year, but this is stupid in my opinion, not starting the offseason in a good direction. This coming from April in Portland. I mean, I have similar thoughts. Like, again, I like John Hines. I think he's done a good job. I don't know. You have a team option for a reason. Pick up the team option and then figure this out next year, because if this goes off the rails and, things have gone poorly next year and you want to make a move at coach then, well, what are you going to do now? You're not going to do it. Like, John Hines is going to be your guy. So I would have just picked up the option. I am interested to see, and we got a lot of text to this regard on the text line. I'm really interested to see what the term is, because, look, I know the 6-year thing is getting thrown around. I have a tough time buying that it would be 6 years. If it is, oh boy. But, if it's like a 5-year deal, that's a big deal for John Hines. I don't know what his first deal was, 3 years or 2 years with a team option? That'd be 3 years.
Well,
so you finish the first season.
I guess it's like a half season, full season, full season.
Right, so 2.5. And then the third. So, I would assume, my guess is, it's probably longer than that. Like, is he signing a 2-year extension? I don't know. My guess it's probably longer than that.
I guess. But I guess I would kind of think 2-3 years. If it's 6, hey, man.
Good for him.
Hey, exactly. Kudos to you, John Hines. Are they just on like a whatever Jared says, do the absolute extreme opposite? Maybe that's the plan.
Maybe so. James says, John Hines did get career years from several dudes. I give him some credit for that. Maybe Poyle wanted to re-sign him because he loves penalty minutes. I don't know. That's coming from James on the text line.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm seeing quite a bit of people, well, frankly, who agree with me. Chip from Mount Juliet, I think Hines has got the most out of his players, but the team still lacks that one elite talent, goal scorer or scorers, as seen in current playoff teams. That lies with Poyle. There's quite a bit of that. I think there's more of that, because that's another thing too. You tell me, and this is a point of contention with the Hindsighter. I don't know. Again, this is where it gets really tough with judging the fan. Let's put a poll. You know what? I just said let's put a poll up. Let's put a poll up. Let's put a poll up. I think more. I don't think it's like this across the board. Fans are down on Hines.
No,
I think there's a lot more, as people should be, that are down on Poyle.
Oh yeah. No, I think there's
some people.
I think there's a significant amount that are down on both. But I think if you had to separate out the two, I'd say there are more Predators fans down on Poyle than there are on Hines. That's just my guess.
And
based on the reaction that we've gotten.
And I think those people are reading it correctly. But like if you just isolated it to Hines, what's the approval rating of Hines, the Nashville Predators fan base?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably I think it's probably slightly over 60%. But I still think there's a pretty good amount of people that are out on Hines too. I mean, the bottom line is we've talked about this. I said this yesterday on the DDC. Expectations around here have changed, and it's a good thing as a franchise. Like, you want your fans to care and you want your fans to want to win. But what happens when that's the case is being eliminated in the first round 4 years in a row is no longer good enough. And I get it. They've transitioned the roster. I think there is a portion of the fans of the Preds fan base that realizes that they're in a transition or a rebuild or whatever words you want to use, and they're okay with that. But I do think that there is still a significant amount of Predators fans who are probably not happy today that John Hines has signed an extension. So it's one of those things where now I think there's even more pressure. If you made that decision, there's more pressure this offseason to fix this roster and to get it right and to continue to take a step forward next year. And like, if you go through next year and you're in the same situation where, let's say you're wild card 1 or 2, you get in the playoffs and you're out pretty quick in the playoffs, I mean, people are going to be irate next year if this continues to be the case. So I think there's more pressure now to fix this and to start to continue to move in the right direction.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'd separate the two things, and I guess I'd ask you, how do you think Hines has coached in the playoffs?
I mean, I thought, this series is just it's so difficult to judge because Colorado's just so much better than they are. So you didn't have your goalie. You're at an incredible talent deficiency. I mean, Colorado was skating circles around St. Louis the other night, and I think St. Louis is significantly better than the Predators are. So it's difficult for me to really judge what just happened. I thought he did a decent job in the Carolina series. The Arizona one, I didn't think he did a great job, but I also look at that roster, and you still had guys like, Craig Smith and Kyle Turris on that team, and that team was in the middle of cratering. So, I don't think he's done a great job in the playoffs. His record is what it is, but they've been so talent-wise outmatched in the last 2 series that I didn't have any expectations for them to win that series. I thought they competed pretty well against Carolina, and they just got their doors blown off against Colorado. So I can't sit here and say they did a great job against Colorado. They got swept, but the talent deficiency just is what it is.
Yeah, it's just this is we got to go to break, but the big thing, it's like his playoff record is, hey, look, that's fine. It's fair. It's his record. It's what it is. I feel like the only really disappointing, I'm not saying this last series was disappointing. It was disappointing. It was also predictable. The Arizona series is the one where it's like, you got to do better than that. But you can find excuses for anything, and then you can also you can put a ton of blame on him if you want. I just think that's misguided.
I got a text that says, unfortunately now maybe we lose Carl Taylor to another team, losing an asset for nothing. Sound familiar? I mean, first off, I don't know if they're going to lose Carl Taylor or not. He's done a good job down there in Milwaukee, but this is also one of my favorite things, like the obsession with the minor league hockey coach. It's like he might be a good NHL coach. He might not. I don't know.
Some of them turn out really good.
Some of them. Dean Evason's done a good job, but let me tell you this: if they lose in the first round again next year, Dean Evason's going to get fired.
That's true too.
So it's what I understand it. The unknown is undefeated, but I don't spend too much time worried about minor league hockey coach.
Can you imagine Carl Taylor coaching Malik Willis?
Yeah, I know.
and they could dominate any sport. Nashville SC, whatever you want.
That's right. We'll continue to take your thoughts on John Hines, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Coming up next, it is time for the best and worst things in sports, as we do every Thursday morning at 6:45. That's on the other side. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
If you're on the road between downtown Nashville,
They're still in good shape to make the playoffs.
and I-840,
Players make it clear they don't want to be somewhere anymore.
there's a new way to hear all your favorite shows and sports programming on 102.5 The Game.
I go back to that play and I shake my head. What I was worried about is that they were still just going to keep the goal.
It's 106.3 FM.
Think about all the good Titans teams. This is very much so a run-first offense.
Now you have two choices to hear Nashville's best sports talk. Check out 106.3 now and add it as a favorite.
From elegant to contemporary, Social Furniture has it all. And right now, get no interest financing on any purchase through Memorial Day. Save hundreds, even thousands on top brand name bedroom suites, living room and dining sets. Thousands of combinations in stock, ready for immediate delivery. All colors and styles are designer brand names, such as Woodhouse, Sealy, Serta, Kincaid, Bernhardt, Stearns & Foster, and Bassett. Shop local, shop social. Social Furniture opens 7 days a week on the west side on Charlotte Avenue in the Richland Creek Shopping Center.
If you've been thinking about remodeling your home's kitchen or bath, contact the countertop experts at Smoky Mountain Tops. Willie Donick here, and I'm proud to tell you about my longtime friends. We installed Smoky Mountain Tops surfacing in our kitchen years ago, and it's remained durable and super easy to clean up. Smoky Mountain Tops is proud to offer the new prestigious Vidara Quartz for your kitchen or bath countertops. Check out the stunning new Vidara Quartz shown at Smoky Mountain Top Studio. Contact the pros at Smoky Mountain Tops. Quality, service, and dedication. SmokyMountainTops.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. I want to speak to the dads who are being denied access to their kids, excluded from key parenting decisions, are contending with child support issues. In all of these cases, doing nothing is probably not a good strategy. The law has given you rights, but you have to assert them. If the challenge is the cost of an attorney, Cordell & Cordell offers a capped fee option. Give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Nashville area attorneys. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499. Plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Darren McFarland.
And a mulligan that we all look for in golf. Lord knows our game could use it.
Willie Donick.
Outworked and outperformed a lot of other really good players.
Chase McCabe.
I want some sort of trade protection.
Darren, Donick, and Chase have you covered weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
You're listening to Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
The best and worst of the sports week now on Robby and Rexrode
On ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
And it is that time of the week, time for the best and worst things in sports. As always, we'll take your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Joe Rexrode, would you like to kick us off with your best and worst things in the world of sports for this week?
Yeah, my best. I'm actually not going to do my best. I'm going to let Michelle do the best.
Okay.
Because I know what Michelle's going to do. And if I'm wrong, then I'll go back to it. But I think I know what Michelle's going to do for the best in sports.
Okay.
No, you're looking at me like,
I think I know what she's going to do too, but we'll see if we're right.
We'll see if we're right. So my best is NCAA. Yes, doing good stuff. relaxing whatever the heck they relaxed, the requirements for FBS title games.
Yeah.
Which opens the door for these conferences to get rid of divisions, which were always stupid. And although I want to pour a little bit of this coffee out for the legends and leaders. Jim Delaney, man. And the Big Ten came out with the legends and leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Geniuses and humanitarians. It's just like the dumbest thing. Legends and leaders. And then they switched that up to East-West. But now they should spike the divisions. The Pac-12 already has. The ACC, if they haven't officially, that's coming. I really hope the SEC does it. I really do. Now, the SEC...
they're about to go to pods.
Well, the SEC, I will say this about the SEC. Like, they did this way before anybody else did. So it's actually more of a tradition in this conference.
Yeah.
And you're talking about early 90s. So I can see a little bit more attachment to them. But I just think it just totally makes sense. Just get your best two teams. If you have tiebreakers, you have tiebreakers. Then you don't have, the Big Ten has just been a mess. Oh, let's throw in, Iowa. How about a little Northwestern Ohio State? It's just, get your best two teams. My worst, the Phoenix Suns. Are you kidding me with this freaking Game 7 performance? At home, the favorite, the best team this year against the Dallas Mavs, and they're good, but you lay that level of an egg? I mean, I can't recall a team in a Game 7 at home, losing, yes, but in a Game 7 at home looking like your rookie team in the Summer League in Vegas.
That was the worst game they played in 2 years.
What are you doing? And I understand missing shots. That happens. The other team gets hot. But you completely melted down. I mean, that's just embarrassing. And I think Monty Williams is a great coach. Love Devin Booker. Don't love all their players, but so
love CP3.
I'm not totally sad to see all of it, but how awful was that?
Shout out to Chris Paul. Way to go, buddy.
That was cheeks.
Pat Beverly loved every second of it.
Yeah,
watching on ESPN. Michelle Knesvik, your best and worst things in the world of sports for this week.
My best in sports this week is USA Soccer.
There you go.
Yes.
We nailed it.
Yep. Nailed it. Knew you guys knew this. They reached a landmark deal, obviously, for a while. It's been in the news even before COVID of the USA women's national team trying to get equal pay. So essentially, big shout out to the men's national team because they are splitting the pay equally, which will allow, both the men's and the women's team to get paid equally, and then they'll mutually benefit from the other team. So, I mean, this has been a long time coming. Just happy that it's still a long way to go with women's sports all around, but this is definitely just a huge positive for women's sports in general, women's soccer. Just really, really, really excited about this. And if you haven't watched it and you don't know a lot about this, watch LFG. Let's bleeping go.
Is that Brady?
No, it's the documentary on this, and Megan Rapinoe's in it, Alex Morgan, and it explains all of it. Great, great documentary on HBO. My worst in sports this week, I didn't really have one, so I'm just going to go with the extreme speculation on the whole Derrick Henry and contract things because Vrabel had some comment that basically was like, yeah, I just want all my guys at OTA, or he's like, yeah, I love, the preseason stuff, the voluntary stuff, love having my guys here. Whatever, the extreme speculation that this means that he's mad at Derrick Henry or something, and maybe just taking things just way out of context. So, yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah, it's just and he winked his eye a little bit, which actually means, I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Who are you taking a shot at?
No one.
Taking a shot at somebody?
No one.
My best in sports for this week, I really enjoyed being able to sit down last night and listen to Penalty Box Radio, their final broadcast last night. Justin Bradford and Glenn Blackwell have done a really good job, not only in their coverage for the Nashville Predators, but really hockey as a whole, both here and in the Southeast as well. They've done a really good job for the last decade. Big Ben used to be a part of it as well. RIP Big Ben. But really enjoyed the show last night, kind of going down memory lane. I think Justin and Glenn and the entire Penalty Box Radio crew needs to be commended for the job that they've done. And really enjoyed listening to them kind of pour their heart out last night in their final broadcast. So my best in sports for this week, the crew at Penalty Box Radio.
That's awesome.
Worst in sports is also, I mean, you can make an argument this could be
also
my
Penalty
second
Box
best.
Radio?
No, it's not Penalty Box Radio. It is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look, I do think they were more competitive, and they just ended up getting beat by a team that I still think is going to win the Stanley Cup in the Tampa Bay Lightning. But it's pretty darn funny. You're up 3-2 in that series. It's an overtime in Game 6. You lose. You come out in Game 7, and you let Tampa get the lead. And then they just totally shut the door on you. And they had chances, and it was at home. And I think this is now 4 years in a row that they've lost, not only in the first round, but they've lost in the deciding game. So either Game 7 or in the case of the bubble, I think it was Game 5 that they've lost in the deciding game. You know, I probably shouldn't laugh at other people's pain, but in Toronto, it's pretty darn funny. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, my worst / second best thing in sports. Loved it.
1967. My goodness.
I find too much joy in this? I just think it's so funny.
No, not enough.
Oh man.
There's just it's I'm trying to think like what would be the equivalent here. It's not the same. It's hard to draw a comparison because I mean there's a handful of Canadian teams.
Yeah.
And there's two that really drive the conversation. And that's the biggest city, and it's a huge fan base. They've done so much to get there, and they are good.
They are.
They're good. I think they were better more in that series. I didn't watch every second of it, but I think they were the better team, you could argue, for the series. And they had it. And they had it in their hands, and it's probably the most painful way for it to go. Because if they just got wiped, which I actually thought might happen, then it'd be, okay, great, new direction. What do you do now?
Heidi from Dixon on the text line says, worst thing in sports is the Titans sometimes trying to be like the Patriots, but not always. Means what for the Derrick Henry news on contract talks? We'll get to that coming up here in just a few minutes. Best thing is Joe being proven right by a coach extension. Eat it, Jared. This is coming from Heidi from Dixon.
Man.
On the text line.
People going after Jared.
So much for Heidi being Jared's burner account on the text line. Unless he's just really crafty.
Or, well, maybe, though. This definitely would throw us off the trail, wouldn't it?
It would.
Eat it, Jared. I'm Jared. And I just got a pedicure.
That was scary, Joe.
So anyway, Vrabel, tell me about your... No, sorry.
Going all Charlie Weiss on me. They're just breathing in the microphone.
Speaking of that, Gregory Anderson on Twitter, I forgot that he had done that thing because I actually have been told I look like Charlie Weiss. I mean, legitimately, I've been told I look like Charlie Weiss.
It's a good compliment.
No, it's yeah. So, but actually, he had that face app thing, and my face fits perfectly in his body. It's really sad.
We've talked more about Charlie Weiss on the show this week than he's probably been talked about in years. It's
I don't know if we have time for this. I did a podcast, Locked On Spartans, with my buddy Matt Sheehan, and a memory lane on John L. Smith. And I talked about the Charlie Weiss thing, right, with the cameras and all that.
Yeah.
But what I forgot, the best part of it, was that John L. at his press conference, ripping Charlie Weiss, and I got hit. And he slapped himself like that. He did. I mean, you can watch it. I'll find it. I'll find it. At his press conference, he's like, as he left, he's like, and I got hit. And he slapped himself. It's amazing.
You looked incredible on the Zoom doing that.
Yeah, can't wait to make that a GIF.
I bet I did.
This has been the best,
Shout out, John L.
Best and worst things in sports here on Robby and Rexrode. Coming up next, we will get into the Derrick Henry contract discussion. News that, quite frankly, I didn't expect to be talking about this time yesterday, but we'll do it next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
The voice of reason.
No, you blew it. That's what happened. It didn't slip away. You blew it.
The voice of the fan.
The officials had let that game get out of control before anything got thrown.
The voice of Nashville sports is your home of Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
IndyCar is back for more. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix returns to Nashville August 5th through 7th. For 3 days, the streets of downtown Nashville will come alive with the sounds of music and racing. 3-day tickets are on sale now for as low as $129. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is a weekend full of action-packed excitement. Don't miss out on this year's biggest party. Visit MusicCityGP.com to buy tickets. That's MusicCityGP.com.
Listen up, people. Your first bet with Caesar Sportsbook is risk-free, up to $1,100. Download the app and use promo code RADIOCZR and then place your first bet. If you win, congrats. But if not, you'll get your wager back as a free bet. Must be 21 and physically present in Tennessee. New users only. Bet amount of qualifying wager returned only if wager is settled as a loss. Paid as a single bet credit. Must be used within 14 days. See Caesar.com/promos for full terms. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. Caesar Sportsbook. Download it.
You purchased a fine European automobile because of the amazing drivability and great looks. Then someone slid into you during a rainstorm. European Collision Repair is Nashville's premier location for collision repairs. Their state-of-the-art facility is certified by 30 vehicle manufacturers. The best part is their customer service, and they can provide an estimate simply by you sending in a photo of your damage. If you have a fine European automobile, have the repairs done at European Collision Repair. Go to EuropeanCollisionRepair.com.
Hustle up, we've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's beginning to feel a lot like summer, and the Home Depot has savings on everything you need to get it started this Memorial Day. Step up your grill game with propane griddles from Nexgrill for the perfect smash burger. Then feast with your friends and family around a new patio set from Hampton Bay. However you plan to kick off summer, the Home Depot has savings on everything you need to do it right. Feels like Memorial Day at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Rob tried to manage his constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating day after day. After realizing it was irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, he found another way and finally said yes to adding Linzess.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Good morning!
Morning! Robby and Rexrode mornings from 6 to 10.
It's not bad. Might have to work on that. Not bad. It's a starting point.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell media station.
Mixing sports and a little bit of fun.
This is fun!
On your morning drive. This is Robby and Rexrode. With Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's showtime.
Welcome back in, hour number 2 of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robbie Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll have Kayla Anderson from News 2 coming up at 7:15. We'll get her thoughts on the John Hines contract extension from the Preds and the Tennessee Titans as well. Looking forward to that. Mitch Light from The Athletic will be in studio for the 8 o'clock hour, so lots of college football news to get to with him as well.
So if Chase is in the building at the same time, it's both people who could fire me from my respective jobs.
Yes, it is.
In the same building at once.
Why don't you get fired from both today?
Maybe I'll just go streaking.
Maybe so. Could be very dangerous with Mitch Light in the building coming up at 8 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Joe Rexrode, one thing I did not expect to really be discussing today was the Derrick Henry contract situation. And yet, we've talked about earlier, your conversation with Skip Stillman yesterday, who I will forever refer to him as Skip from now on, as I've told him, and his contractual status with the Titans. Maybe he's holding out at this point. We'll see what happens on the Derrick Henry front. But Jeremy Fowler put it out there yesterday in this big piece on ESPN.com. So he's going through different contractual situations in the NFL and some players that could be looking for new deals and how teams could react to that. So, he's got Jeffrey Simmons on this list as well in terms of, keeping an eye on that situation with the Titans already having Dupree, Harold Landry, and Danico Autry making big money on the team. They've picked up Jeffrey Simmons' fifth-year option. So at some point I would expect there's another deal, big deal there coming from Jeffrey Simmons, but we'll see what happens on that front. On the wild card section that he's got thrown out here on ESPN.com, Jeremy Fowler mentions Derrick Henry and says he's a free agent coming up in 2024. Says he has 2 years left on his current contract, and running backs typically don't get paid early, but I'm hearing the Titans are at least open to a possible new deal with Henry. Henry has salaries of $12 million, which is a $15 million cap hit, and $12.5 million, $15.5 million cap hit over the next 2 years. The Titans could lessen those two cap hits by extending him a year or two, and they could build in escape hatches if Henry declines in his 30s. But right now, Henry is still considered the game's top back. So what do you make of that idea that Jeremy Fowler threw out there, that maybe the Titans are at least open to a possible new deal with Derrick Henry, who has 2 years remaining on his current contract?
If I were the Titans, I think I'd let things play out. But to me, the only reason to do this would be to do what he just said, which is to lower the cap hit. So if that helps you do something else, you can do that. But my question to that is, then like, what's your dead money situation in 24 if you do that? Because again, for the most part, with these things, what this does is it ties you to the player longer. It makes it harder to move on from the player, later beyond like whatever the deal is currently. They just did it again with Kevin Byard. Feel good about Kevin Byard. He's still a top player in the league. He's a leader. So they're happy with that. And not that, there's nothing wrong at all with Derrick Henry, but again, like just the whole question of what is he going to be after 2 years? I mean, I think I'd let it play out as long as I don't need to do this financially. If you have a need to do it, well, I mean, it's all happening all over the league. People are kicking the can and they're restructuring things, and I'd like to know what that looks like financially. What is because if you get to a situation like with Tannehill, which again, no one complained about at the time, not that aspect of it. Maybe complained about sending the second round pick, but no one complained about Tannehill basically them being locked in now to Tannehill a year ago, because why would that be a problem? But I don't think I would want to be locked in to Derrick Henry for 2024.
Especially coming off an injury. Like I would love to see what he looks like this year. And if he comes out this year and is vintage Derrick Henry, then I'm probably feeling okay about him in 2024. But right now, 2024 is a long way off in NFL years, especially in running back years, I mean, it's a different lifetime almost.
I mean, like what is, like, if you convert it like dog years, dog years, 7 years, like it's like 3 to 1 anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 9 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, I said it yesterday on the show, until I see Derrick Henry not look like Derrick Henry anymore, I have full confidence that he's going to come back this year and he's going to play well. And if he's fully healthy, he'll be ready to go from the start. And I don't have a ton of concerns about Derrick Henry that way. Now, he is 28 years old. You're talking in 2024, he'll be 30. So you're talking at that position. The NFL, once you start to reach 30, unless you're Brady or one of these quarterbacks nowadays, starting to go on the wrong side for you anyway. At that position, 30 is old. And he's got a lot of wear and tear. He's had a lot of carries. Now, I guess the argument you could make is maybe the silver lining of the foot injury this year reduce some of the the beating that he was going to take, because he was on pace for well over 400 carries this year.
Yeah, the rest of his body got a break.
Yeah, got a break this year. So I don't know. Maybe that's a silver lining that you could look at. But certainly, before I'm making this decision, if I'm the Titans, I'm at least seeing what he looks like this year and then kind of reevaluating from there. But I'm in no hurry to do this if I'm the Titans.
So now let's go into the Ewok Village meets My Little Pony portion of the discussion.
Okay.
I can just imagine Jared with his Ewok Village. My little pony, pretty pony. And then may the force be with you, and like smash into each other. So Jared thinks that this from Fowler came from Derrick Henry's camp, and that this suggests. I want to make sure if I have it right, if I heard him right, because I went on there for Jared versus Joe yesterday, won convincingly, the total rout. But that this was from Derrick's camp, and that this, along with like the Vrabel comments of Charlie Weiss, suggests that there's another showdown coming, that there's a holdout, and that there's conflict here between management and Derrick Henry. I can't quite follow all the thinking there. I mean, first of all, let's go with the Fowler thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where Fowler got this, but if this is purely from Derrick's camp, I would assume that Fowler would have gone to the other side. I mean, this seems like there's someone in the building who's telling him something, right?
Well, his quote was, quote, "I'm hearing the Titans are at least open to a possible new deal with Henry."
Yeah.
So the Titans.
Well, I know. Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I know. My little pony, pretty pony. Do you know My Little Pony?
Of course I had My Little Pony.
Brush your hair and mane.
But you are scaring me a little bit this morning, Joe.
Sorry.
Please, by all means, keep going.
Good God. Stop the fight. Yeah, so now look, sometimes things like this will come from like a player's camp. Like,
sure.
like that can start the discussion, but I guess I need more. If we're going to weave in I need more. I may have missed like how he's made all these connections. I think it's a leap right now, though, in general, to think that there's some sort of big issue here. I mean, Vrabel made a comment about with Charlie Weiss or with Salmo, I don't know, made a comment like, I like the guys who like to be with us. And, and of course, he'd rather all of them be with him, including Derrick Henry. I think it's a leap to think that he's singling out Derrick Henry with that comment. This is every year the same thing.
Well, I guess my question is, if this is like some holdout from Henry, what's the goal? Because his position, you just don't get paid a lot of money. He's getting paid $12 million and $12.5 million, which for a running back in today's game is a ton of money. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
Well, you can say it's a ton of money, but it's kind of like go back to Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell's point was, okay, I'm a running back, but I'm more than that to this team. I'm the focal point of this offense. I'm a huge part of the different situation, but I'm just saying he was trying to get paid. He was trying to maximize his little window. And if you're Derrick Henry, you're looking at this offense saying, I mean, you guys are running me into the ground. I am the focal point of everything. Yeah, I'm a running back, but, I
is it time to do that when you just broke your foot and missed half the year?
Well, it's not ideal, but
like, wouldn't that make more sense heading into last season after you ran for 2,000 yards?
Yeah, but 2 years left. Plus, remember, so he has been paid his guaranteed money. So like none of these dollars are guaranteed. Now, I mean, he's going to get paid this year. He's going to play. He's going to get paid. But next year, it's not guaranteed. It's an easy get out of it situation if it doesn't go well this year, and then SOL, Derek. I mean, I could see right now being like, you know what? I just broke my foot. Now A.J. Brown's gone. I'm the absolute focal point. And, yeah, I mean, I want something redone here. I want to have a little bit more security, if not more money, but preferably both. I could see that thought process being in his head. I don't look at any of this and say, yeah, trouble's a brewing. I think you're taking quite a leap there.
Coming up next, we'll get Kayla Anderson's thoughts on Derrick Henry, and the Titans get her thoughts on the John Hines contract extension as well. All that ahead, you're listening to Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 5, join us for Jared versus Joe as they debate all of the big topics in sports, presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and Mayweather Boxing and Fitness on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The Hot Rod Power Tour, presented by eBay Motors and driven by Continental Tire, is back in Nashville, June 14th. Register now at hotrodpowertour.us.
Gary Ashton here. I love hearing people say, don't sell without the intel, because it means they're really embracing our message. Now's a great time to sell your home in Nashville, but you need the intel only the Gary Ashton team can provide. Intel that helps you sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel to win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Let everyone else get the same information and compete for the same properties, while you get the Intel edge with the Gary Ashton team, the official real estate team for your Tennessee Titans. And if you're looking for a great career, join our team. We added 65 new agents last year, and we want you to join us this year. Remember, don't sell without the Intel. And if you're looking for a great career, the Gary Ashton team wants you in 2022. Call 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com today.
So many times guests come in with pictures from Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook and are amazed that we have those rings in stock.
David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds, talking about how Genesis stays on the cutting edge.
We pride ourselves of staying ahead of the curve of fashion and seeking what's new, what's hot all over the world, what's hot all over the internet, and having that in stock for you, where other stores are still chasing styles that were cool maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Why settle for an outdated style or a stale design? Make the switch to Genesis and get the ring of her dreams with over 4,000 cutting-edge choices from the top bridal designers in the world.
We have the designer looks that you see everywhere in stock in a variety of metals, a variety of sizes and shapes, and a variety of budgets, so every customer can have exactly what they want.
Genesis Diamonds and pre-owned Rolexes.
We are so honored and proud that so many people have made the switch to Genesis Diamonds and not only told their friends about Genesis, but have brought their friends to Genesis.
Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Don't miss Nashville SC versus Atlanta United FC this Saturday, May 21st at 6:30 p.m. Come on into Geodis Park and get closer, bolder, and golder at Nashville SC's new home. Single match tickets are on sale now at NashvilleSC.com.
Zines First is the official sign company for 1025 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
We want to hear from you.
Thanks for taking the call.
Join the conversation. Call or text at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robbie Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And we go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in our friend Kayla Anderson from News 2. Kayla, what's going on? How we doing?
Hey, good morning, friends. How is everyone doing?
We're great. We appreciate you taking time to join us this morning. So, Kayla, we've got a lot to get to with the Titans and the Preds here with you today. We'll start on the Titans front. We were just talking about this in the last segment. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN putting it out there yesterday that the Titans could be open to a contract extension with Derrick Henry, who is scheduled to be a free agent coming up in 2024, maybe to lower the cap hit as they move forward here. What do you make of that idea with 2 years remaining on his deal, the Titans maybe being open to an extension for Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I don't know if any of us kind of saw that coming at this time. I think a lot of us are talking about, everything that's coming up with camps and everything, and Derrick Henry has clearly not been there, which has been kind of his thing. He's been always one of those guys that's worked out with his trainer in the off season and some of the voluntary stuff too. And that's just kind of the way that it's been. So that kind of popped out of nowhere. And I don't know, I'm kind of just a little bit questionable about it, like where the source particularly came from, just because it kind of popped out of nowhere. But, with the running back situation, and it doesn't matter how good a running back is, and we know that Derrick Henry's been such a solid guy for this team. I mean, this team has been built around Derrick Henry. But what scares me always is there's always that point where once you have an injury or sustain an injury, there's always so many question marks after that. And just because of the workload that has been put on Derrick Henry over the past couple of seasons, and granted, he did have some time away from that last year to heal from that. you just wonder what his future holds. And it's kind of a scary situation, but for the Titans, if this is true, maybe that's just giving Derrick Henry some stability. And like you said, the way that contracts are worked, the way that money is worked, you can kind of find a way to put it here and there. And so maybe that's what they're doing. But I just felt the timing was really strange. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Yeah, we just talked about it. And I mean, I guess, I can see from Derrick's perspective where he is in his career with the injury, looking at another year of 400 carries, guaranteed money has run out. I mean, I can see why he would be interested in talking about it, but I think it's tough from the Titans' perspective. I'd be real hesitant. I mean, it's just a tough spot it's just always a tough spot, even if you're a great running back in this league,
right?
But yeah, more. We keep getting interesting storylines. We do in this Titans offseason.
Well, that's the thing. We're never surprised, and he's the face of the franchise, and I get that, right? And there's nothing to say right now that he can't still be that. We don't know what the future holds, and like you mentioned, for Derrick, yeah, you look at that as a good thing, the stability-wise. But for the Titans, and we've seen how the Titans handle business, guys. It's all about business. And it doesn't really matter who you are in that franchise as a player. If it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's just the way that they've handled things.
Yeah. And, I mean, no doubt. I mean, Gerald Casey certainly comes to mind. A.J. Brown, oh, boy, don't get me started on that.
Right.
So, Kayla. Some people more than others, obviously, but what were your big takeaways from rookie minicamp?
Yeah, first of all, man, did it feel good to just get out there and actually watch something in person? I feel like it's been a while, and then we clearly didn't get any of that last year. We had training camp, but we didn't get all the things before that, and so it just felt good to get out there, obviously see all of you guys, including you, Rexrode, and your spectacular video that went viral, I feel like.
Just beautiful. It was a virus anyway.
It was just artwork. It was artwork. But no, it was good to get out there. And my takeaways, first and foremost, I think, the first thing that comes to mind is clearly you have your first-round draft pick in Treylon Burks, and all eyes are on Treylon Burks. And we were all there in those first individual drills watching him. And I'll be honest, after the first drill, I kind of saw he was winded, and he just didn't look like he was fully in it at that point, or he was dealing with something. And then a couple drills later, and obviously he went to the sideline, he took his inhaler, he had the ice pack on his back of his neck, and then eventually went to the locker room, came back, and then, didn't finish practice. And I think at first we're all going to jump to conclusions of, oh gosh, this guy is out of shape. This is not a good sign. And fans have a right to feel that way, I feel like, because the first round pick has not gone great for the Titans in the last couple of seasons. And we have yet to see what Caleb Farley does, so I'm not going to put him completely in that category yet. But I think fans are just on alert. And so this is clearly going to be a talking point. But for me, I look at it as he's a rookie, things are different, there's no excuse about the heat, but he could be dealing with some asthma stuff, which I had growing up, so I understand that. Remember, guys, the allergies are a whole different ballgame here in Nashville. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. So there could have been some other things that went into it. I think my biggest thing, though, that we just didn't get an explanation, so it leaves it up for speculation. And I think that can get a little bit dangerous when you have a rookie that you traded away your top wide receiver for, and you're already having issues with your first-round picks. It leaves it up for speculation. So I think it would have been nice to have some sort of an explanation. But I think everything will be fine with that, so I'm going to move past that. I was just really impressed with the rookies overall, just the work ethic that I saw from them. But from Kyle Phillips, man, that guy is impressive. You're talking about a guy that came from UCLA, didn't get much pub because, let's face it, he's in the Pac-12. Not a lot of people on this side of the states get to see Pac-12 after dark games. I do because I'm crazy and I'm from the conference. And I
go Wazoo!
Too late. Yeah, go Wazoo! But I just really liked the work ethic I saw from the guy. The kind of the the fitting into this type of team where you're just a hard-nosed player. He's not very big, but you could see him, finishing catches. His routes looked really good. Really good footwork. I know a lot of video was out there about that. I think he could be a guy that could be out there and make a difference in situations starting this season. And I don't think anyone saw that coming with the 5th-round pick, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
No, I agree. I think he's got a real shot here to make a difference.
Kayla Anderson from News 2 on with us here on Robby and Rexrode. So, Kayla, Adam Vingan putting it out there yesterday that the Predators have agreed to a multi-year contract extension with John Hines. As you know, there's been a lot of noise about the Predators since they've been swept by Colorado. And we've talked a lot about John Hines and David Poile here on this show. What's kind of your reaction to Adam's report of a new multi-year deal for John Hines?
Yeah, I saw that last night, kind of, I guess, more so in the evening. And then I immediately saw all the Twitter hounds after that. And I've seen so many things attached to Adam Vingan's tweet, most of it probably saying when the heck is going on. And my thought on that is I'm a little questionable about if it's a multi-year deal. I think that first and foremost, it's taken Poile and John Hines more than a week to talk. Usually after the season, we're speaking to them like 3 days after, right? We've got locker cleanout usually, and then you talk to the head coach and the GM. We've waited for almost a week now, and so clearly they've been working on putting something together. And at first, I didn't really know what it was. I was like, is there another announcement coming? But I knew it probably had to do something with the coaching situation or the GM situation or possibly Philip Forsberg. But it looks like with Adam's report, it's a multi-year deal is what they're saying. And I just think at this point, why? Like, why at this point do you think it has to be a multi-year deal when we're still kind of seeing what's happening with this team? And I'm actually a fan of Hines. I think he is a good developer of players. I think we've seen it with some of these players having really breakout seasons. I think that has something to do with maybe, Hines sitting down with these guys and discussing some things, and maybe some of these players changed their perspective on what they were doing, mindset-wise and on the ice. I think he developed some of these younger players really nicely, but we just haven't seen enough yet. And when you get eliminated from the first round of the playoffs again, it's not completely all put on Hines, but he's the head coach, and David Poile hired him. My whole thing is, I think we need a little bit more time, and I thought a year extension, if they wanted to do that, that makes complete sense. But a multi-year, I wonder what that's all about and how that came about, if this ends up being true, which we will find out here shortly, mid-morning. So I'm kind of shrugging my shoulders too, being like, I don't really get it right now with the multi-year deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's a bit. I mean, I want to know what multi means, because I don't know.
Yeah,
people throwing out six years. I don't. Again, I still haven't. I still haven't actually found that on Pred's Twitter. I need to find. Is that like the Pred's Twitter dark web?
It could be
saying 6 years. Yeah, but that sounds excessive. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Kayla. I think it's. Picking up the option would seem to, like in college sports. You need to do this. You need to tell recruits, hey, we're committed to this coach, and it's going to be, the whole time you're in school, but has nothing to do with pro sports. So I find it interesting. What is, okay, apart from that, Kayla, because that is definitely, it's going to be asked today, what's the term, all that stuff, and why and how and all that. But apart from that, what is the most important, or what's the number one thing you want to find out or hear today at that press conference?
Oh man, there's so many questions, right? I mean, this was my 5th season, I think, covering the Preds, and there's so much that's happened in that time. Everything from, I missed the cup run. I came the season after, but the team was still really good. And after that, it just seemed to drop off a little here and there. And then, Peter Laviolette left, and and John Hines got hired, but then you got smack dab hit in the middle of the pandemic, which everything was very weird, and I feel like that was just a weird time for sports in general. And so now you're finally getting your groove back, and I know a lot of people said, oh, well, there weren't expectations. That's what they said. There weren't that many high expectations coming into this season, and then they kind of overachieved, and then at the end dipped back down. So there's been so much that has gone on. So I think the biggest question, it starts probably with David Poile, is you've done so much here in the past couple of years to try to shake things up. You've called this a competitive rebuild. But at this point now with the head coach, you say that's the right head coach, and, the players that you got a lot out of this year, your top paid players, which that was an issue. What has to happen this next season to ensure your fans that this is not going to be a one-and-done team in the playoffs? Because at this point, they expect more, and one and done is not going to cut it. And I'm just curious as to see, is he going to say, well, we're going to just try to keep doing this competitive rebuild? We feel like the rebuild is now ready to go, and we're on the right track. I mean, I'm just curious just to see what's his answer now, because it's gone from we're going to keep the core, we shook up the core, now it's a competitive rebuild. What stage are the Preds in now?
Yeah, it's a great question, and looking forward to that press conference coming up today at 11 o'clock. Kayla Anderson from News 2, our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. Kayla, great stuff as always. Thanks for taking time to join us this morning.
Hey, thanks, friends. Appreciate it, and keep drinking that coffee this morning.
That's right, absolutely.
Oh, don't you worry.
Kayla Anderson,
thanks, Kayla.
Our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. We'll come back. We'll take your thoughts. 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. How do you feel about the Derrick Henry contract situation, John Hines and his contract extension, everything on the table? 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Hey, I'm Matthias Ekholm, and this is Nashville.
Ekholm, his shot, he scores! Matthias Ekholm gets the Predators' third of the night.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 102.5, The Game.
Don't miss Nashville SC versus Real Salt Lake on Sunday, May 8th at 4 p.m. Single match tickets are on sale now at NashvilleSC.com/singletix. That's NashvilleSC.com/singletix.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Proud to announce that they have won the Top Gun Award for the best Pella sales organization in the U.S. They have the best culture, best customer satisfaction, and best growth in the business. To celebrate, Pella is offering their amazingly affordable products at 0% financing with no payments for 12 months. Do you need new doors or windows? I suggest you shop with Nashville's Pella experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Go to PellaofNashville.com.
Family Leisure invites you to vacation at home with a new spa, pool, patio furniture, or wood play gym this summer.
I really want a spa.
40 spas on display from Artesian, Best Spas, and American Select.
Prices starting as low as $29.99.
Family Leisure has over 100 sets of patio furniture with free delivery.
That sounds good to me, too.
We should really look at the wood play gyms for the kids. Family Leisure has the Diamond Point swing set on sale at only $24.99 installed. Family Leisure's vacation at home sale in Franklin and Antioch.
Family and fun come together.
Spring is in the air, and that means all kinds of fun in the sun is just around the corner. But if you're feeling low energy, if you've put on weight and just aren't getting the gains from your workouts, if you aren't sleeping well and your libido isn't what it used to be, maybe you aren't looking forward so much to sunny days and shirtless weather. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if this sounds like you, we might very well have the answer, because you may very well be suffering from low testosterone. And that, my friend, is something that can be effectively treated to get you back to the guy you used to be. The Tennessee Men's Clinic has treated thousands of men for low T. Our treatment programs are highly effective, with most men seeing results in just a few weeks. Assuming you're like most guys, you'll sleep better, have better workouts, have higher energy, and your sex life might just improve as well. So give us a call. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090. Or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Summer is here, so let's kickstart it together at Lowe's. Shop on Memorial Day savings where you'll find everything you need under the sun. Protect your soil with a bag of our premium color mulch at a new low price of $2.98. Keep your yard in summer shape and save $20 with your choice of Craftsman blower or trimmer. Was $119, now just $99. The savings are heating up this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 5/19 through 5/25. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
The sounds. Play ball.
Davis drives one. Deep left field. Back is Dawson on the track. He looks up. It's gone.
The Sounds continue their series at First Horizon Park against the Louisville Bats.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. Sounds win.
Coverage begins at 6:20 on your home for the Sounds.
ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Ryan Johansson. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Nashville's best deal of the week is Bavarian Beer House at Opry Mills. Bavarian Beer House, Nashville's only authentic German beer hall, is a place full of fun, food, music, and most importantly, beer. You can head to theGameNashville.com/deals now to get a $50 gift card for only $25 to Bavarian Beer House while supplies last. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode. You're on ESPN 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. We are live from the Hillside Medical Game Studio here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Going to have Mitch Light from The Athletic join us for the 8 o'clock hour. We've got a lot of things college football related to get into it with him about, including a nice little rant from Nick Saban last night as well. So looking forward to that coming up. Right now, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Dave in Big Rock, discussing the Derrick Henry conversation, says, don't worry, guys. As long as Vrabel is the coach, then Derrick Henry plays here.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Dave in Big Rock.
Ouch. Bo from Murfreesboro saying, with the exodus of Saffold and Brown, the drama around Tannehill, and now the Henry talk, I'd say we're one player away from blowing up the entire offense. It's coming from Bo from Murfreesboro on the text line.
Well, it's that offense really needs Derrick Henry next year. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Boy, do they need Derrick Henry.
They need vintage
healthy,
Derrick Henry.
happy Derrick Henry.
That's right.
Very important.
Craig texting in says, I texted Jared the other day. I think Kyle Phillips is going to be a legit red zone weapon. Kayla Anderson, very impressed with Kyle Phillips over the weekend.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he does look good. It's that quickness off the line, just that's a great weapon. A devoted slot receiver who, in those short spaces is just such a problem. And you can just, when you get the good chemistry with the QB and that guy, that's a real chain mover for you, on 3rd and 4.
So let's operate in this world that we've started here in terms of Derrick Henry's looking for a new deal, looking for a contract extension.
We're back to My Little Pony? Okay.
We're back to My Little Pony because I want to get you singing again. How do you handle that if you're John Robinson and the Titans? He's got 2 years left on his contract. Obviously, he's been very important to your success. He's been your best player. He's been your franchise player the last few years. How do you handle that if you're John Robinson and the Titans with 2 years left on his contract at this point?
Well, so I by the way, been texting with Mr. My Little Pony. There's just so many nicknames. Like, we can't. It's
going to be hard to keep up.
Yeah, because I really like the Toonces thing too. Like,
Skip.
But you got to make some choices.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tattletales.
Yeah, right. And he is absolutely convinced, that Jeremy Fowler's report, is not. It's not like Fowler heard this from the Titans. Which again, I can buy that Derrick Henry's camp is looking at this saying, you know what, something needs to be done. I can buy that that's how it went. My whole thing, though, is like Jeremy Fowler as a reporter would assume would go ahead and check with the team before putting anything out there. That would be a kind of a bare minimum job requirement for a reporter who covers the NFL. So I'm going to give Jeremy Fowler the benefit of the doubt that he didn't just take something from Derrick Henry's camp and say, "Ooh, okay, you guys want me to say that the Titans are thinking about doing something? Yeah, let me just do that." I don't think.
There's some other folks at ESPN.
Well, but Schefter wouldn't do that either. I mean, as wrong as Schefter can be on things, and as much very fair ratioing as he's taken, I mean, you're going to make a call. It takes you like 5 minutes. So, but again, I'm not saying the Jared's belief that it started on Derrick's. I could see that. I mean, get the wheels rolling. So what are the Titans? Again, I mean, if you're the Titans, you want Derrick Henry to be happy, right?
Sure.
So, and I think you've got to be able to understand, if you're the Titans, where he would be coming from if he were unhappy, if there was some kind of real discussion coming about his contract. I think you could understand that. To me, if I'm the Titans, I'm not putting myself in the stuck with him in 2024 boat. I'm sorry. Derrick Henry's been an amazing player, and he is the face of the franchise. And I think there's a really good chance that he's very good this year, and I think there's a good chance that he's really good the next 2 years. And I would not want to put myself in that position.
No, I need to make sure he's close to vintage Derrick Henry this year before I'm putting myself in that position. But
if you're the player, you're like, well, no, see?
I totally understand. But, if I'm the team, you're coming off a pretty big injury, man. And I understand that it's all healed up now, and you're doing your off-season workouts. And, look, we've seen the videos out there. It looks like Derrick Henry's working out just fine, and he's going to be okay coming back. But I need to see it on the field before I'm worried about a contract that expires in 2 years if I'm the team's perspective here. Now, maybe it is to the point where they're just trying to create as much salary cap room as they can create. I don't know, in extending this window. But the other part of this is
there is potentially a team benefit to doing something.
There is, but the other part of this is 2024. Ryan Tannehill may not be here, and that's a pretty big chunk of your cap. It's gone at that point with Malik Willis as your starter, I would presume then. And he's on a rookie deal, third-round deal. That could be the case that you're in. There's no guarantee that you're going to really need all that much salary cap space in 2024.
Well, yeah, I mean, if somehow I think I've heard a lot of people like, well, when Malik Willis is a starter in 2023, I don't know if Malik Willis is ever going to be a starter in the NFL.
I don't know either.
But yeah, if it is,
would it not? Is it not a leap to say that Ryan Tannehill is absolutely going to be here in 2024?
Oh yeah, I think it's a leap to say just about anything is happening for sure in 2024 in this league. But yeah, I mean, you're right. If it does work out, if it does not work out with Tannehill, and then does work out with Malik Willis, both things have to happen. Yeah, certainly you'd be in a. I mean, that's the sweet spot for teams. You can have a quarterback, on a rookie third round deal. You'd have plenty of room. But but there's still there's also Jeffrey Simmons' contract coming. There's always stuff. There's always people you need to pay, and other free agents and all that stuff. I wouldn't want to be in a situation where you can't cut him because the dead money number is so big that year.
Real quickly on the John Hines front, Chris texting in says, Hines' contract extension reminds me of the Pruitt contract extension. Everyone thought, why? I just really can't wait until 2 p.m. and listen to what My Little Pony Man has to say in Meltdown. This comes from Chris. Chris is really happy with your rendition of My Little Pony. He said 2 or 3 things about it.
I almost feel bad. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm not going to say sorry.
I kind of love that you sing My Little Pony.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's one of the great songs of 80s toys, right?
Yes. Can't say I've thought about the songs of 80s toys all that much, but yes, I'm sure it's great.
We should come up with a top 10 list of that.
Yes.
Don't worry. In July, the Mount Rushmore of 80s toys songs. My Little Pony's definitely on that.
July 19th, the day after we go through WrestleMania stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Coming up next, it is time for the Rex Rant. Joe Rexrode's rant of the day. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Do you have that one person or thing that just makes you mad? Join us every Friday at noon on the DDC for You Just Made the List. Fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com, your one-stop petroleum solution, and TriStar Movie on the DDC on ESPN 1025 The Game.
You just made the list!
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Hillside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now, 615-576-5000.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist, featuring the new Titleist Vokey SM9 wedges, their most superior handcrafted wedge design ever. The new SM9 grooves are cut to maximize the interaction of ball and face for lower flight and higher spin. Get precise distance and trajectory control like a pro with the SM9s. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through May 24th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Friends, ever heard the grass is always greener on the other side? If you're in a dead-end job, you want greener grass. Well, My Computer Career can help. In months, not years, they can give you a new life as an IT pro. You learn from home by taking classes live online. Financial aid is available to those who qualify. And My Computer Career offers lifetime career services, which helps you find jobs with companies begging for IT pros. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
A show that doesn't pull any punches.
And they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round and he doesn't give up a sack the rest of the year. I don't give 2 poops. I'm done.
And has an opinion on everything.
That ref crew that was just terrible. Threw flags on almost every possession.
Jared Stillman hosts Stillman and Company.
Tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 1025 The Game.
The time is now for the Rex Rant.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
On Robby and Rexrode, here on ESPN 1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I'm here with my family.
I spent last night in the arms of a girl in Louisiana.
And it is that time of the day, time for the Rex Rant here on Robby and Rexrode. A nice little Garth Brooks, Brian Kelly mashup there to lead us in here and kind of set the tone for today's Rex Rant.
Fitting.
It is fitting.
Very fitting. So this actually leads perfectly into Mitch Light, who's going to be in studio with us, I think. Is Mitch out there anywhere? Is he in the parking lot? Hopefully Mitch knows how to get here.
He's your boss.
He's been here before. Well, I know. I mean, I don't watch him all the time. I think he's going to be here for the next hour talking college football. He's a college football expert. And I'm going to talk about college football because in this rant but it is it's hard to be ranty all the time. Sometimes it's more like what's
a rave.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Not a Rex-flexion, but more of a rave. Raving about Nick Saban. Because I'm really not complaining about this. Well, here, why don't we play for anybody who didn't see or hear at this point, because it was last night, Nick Saban was at a speaking event in Birmingham actually promoting the World Games being held there in July. Nate Oates was there next to him, kind of like, Coach Saban, can I get you, a Coke, or can I get you a snack? Sitting next to him looking very nervous.
Yeah.
And Nick Saban just was incredibly awesome last night. So, if you want to play that, we have one clip of this beautiful speaking event.
And you've read about them. You know who they are. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team. Made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it.
I mean, how do you not love the man?
I do.
I mean, it's complete garbage. It's starting with the internet speculation. Really, I mean, look, there's no question. Texas A&M, their collective is very successful, but there's also, I think, with maybe with them and with Tennessee and with others. I mean, look, we're talking about John Hines and a 6-year extension because someone tweeted it. Yeah. Okay? And now we're talking about it because some dude tweeted it. And this happens. It's like people so badly want to believe that Texas A&M paid every guy $1 million that let's just go with that. I mean, Nick Saban does not know who or how much they got paid. He doesn't know. But he just said it. He paid every one of those guys. And by the way, I can't wait for Jimbo. Oh, there you go. We got Nick Saban on the TV. I can't look at
Nate.
Nate's
he's getting
like,
mad.
Nick, are you okay? Can I rub your back?
When Saban's talking and the hands start going and the "aight" start falling, that's when you know he's about to get rolling.
Yeah, relative to "aight," and then like he likes to do like the.
He's very illustrative with the hands.
Yes. So I mean, look, I can't wait. I mean, look. I need Jimbo. I need Jimbo injected into my veins because he's going to respond to this. He's already called him what? Clown acts.
Clown acts.
Yes. And our academic programs are incredible at A&M. I mean,
it's a great academic institution.
So I mean, this is a joy for. I mean, Saban is so above the law. Like he knows he can say just ridiculous stuff like this. Like Alabama does it the right way and get all the lemmings to nod in agreement. And it's a strategic move to get the fine folks of Alabama contributing in earnest to the Alabama Collective, which is going to dominate the world and be the Death Star of college football. I mean, I bet he gets their collective like somehow tied to like the state lottery or something. Just get like a regular steady stream of funding going. This is about him telling people again that he doesn't approve of this. And he misses parity in college football. He said that to Paul Feinbaum this week. And by golly, I guess we're just gonna have to do it. So let's get $150 million in that thing real fast, okay? Come on, it's great. And some of the best reactions. First of all, you have Deion Sanders. So there are other things that Saban said here. Let me pick out some fine selections from this comment. Let's see. He said the thing that we heard. So here's a quote, too. We have a rule right now that said you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year. It was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it, end quote. So here we go. Quote, these guys from Miami, they're going to play basketball there, $400,000. That's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it, end quote. So again, Saban, very uncomfortable with this. Much more comfortable when things are not in the paper, when things are not spoken about, when money is paid under the table by, I don't know, maybe some very successful college football programs. Who knows? And I've heard from Tennessee fans recently, Saban's worried. And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, Saban's worried. But I must say, I mean, I do look at this as, yes, he's getting like we need to get it going, but I think maybe he is a little worried about where things may shift here. What do you think?
Well, first off, I meant to talk about this earlier this week, and it totally slipped my mind with everything else going on. But his comments about the parity in college football to Paul Feinbaum the other day,
so rich.
I was like, oh yeah, that's what it's been. There's been a lot of parity in college football. So I'm starting to buy into maybe old Nick's a little worried that that gap is going to close a little bit in terms of recruiting throughout the SEC and around the country. And look, Alabama, they're going to get their collective going. I forget what it's called. It's like High Tide or something like that. And they're going to be fine, and they're going to recruit very well because he's still Nick Saban. So I don't know that it's going to change all that much, but I do think there may be some worry starting to creep in there from Nick Saban. This is not the first time that he's gone off about this. Now, one of my favorite parts is he's talking about Texas A&M buying all their players, and I get that there is a difference between getting NIL money after the fact and having that be an inducement for somebody to come to your school.
Right.
But this is the same guy that was bragging nonstop about Bryce Young last year making over $1 million to play quarterback at Alabama.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean when it works for him, it's great. Look, they have everything rolling. They are, and I absolutely do not believe that every player who has gone to play for Alabama did so under the inducement of money. I don't believe that. It's a championship program. You have everything you could need in a college football program. They are flat out the best program at developing NFL players who are like stars in the NFL. It's incredible. So there's plenty of reasons to go there. Also, come on. The very, very top crust of player who they know the market for their services. This has been, come on. I mean, let's be real about this. Now, when you have it rolling as a coach, you don't have to deal with that stuff at all. You don't have to talk to anybody. It gets done. Let's go to Travis Johnson, former Florida State player. He was quote tweeting something Saban said here about the name, image, likeness. He says, quote, "Ha ha ha ha. Y'all been paying for players since the 80s. Offered me 6 figures in 99. Gave Albert Means and his coaches 6 figures during that time, and now y'all swear y'all not paying anyone. Like the kids say, cap. Y'all was NIL before NIL.
No cap.
Yeah, cap. I love that. I love cap. No cap. No cap. He's saying that is cap. And end quote. Travis Johnson. And then you have Deion Sanders who just goes off, and he said, first of all, one of my all-time pet peeves is spelling the word paid, P-A-Y-E-D, which he did. But Deion Sanders
Coach Prime.
What did he say? He said, "You best believe I will address that lie," all caps, Coach Saban, all caps, told tomorrow, "We as a people," all caps, "don't pay our people," all caps, pay to play with our people, all caps, he tweeted. So the Aflac commercials, the next one should be really interesting. It's all amazing. I mean, it's content for it's content for months. And it's just, but like Saban has got to be, I mean, if you're an Alabama fan, you should be thrilled with your program. You got the greatest college football coach ever. Please tell me you don't believe this crap.
Oh, there's some that do. Let me tell you.
Well, it's like, I mean, I've heard this. Yes, I'm pointing to you. Yeah, I'm pointing to you, Coach Cal. I've heard Kentucky sends these guys to the NBA. I mean, he doesn't need to cheat anymore.
Yeah.
If you're forced to play college basketball for a year, which is the way the NBA does it, you don't think you need to be comfortable for that year? Come on.
Oh,
I mean, let's be real here, people.
Tyler Hero driving a Maserati around campus.
Yeah. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as the season ended, Maserati, Tyler Hero, PJ Washington,
well, when the season ends, the agent
out
can give you the money, but
Mercedes. Yeah. Well, yeah, but
I mean, come on. This is we are seeing it above the table now, and it's making some people really upset because again, you can't have it rolling better than Alabama has it rolling. So I'm actually kind of buying that Nick Saban's worried.
Well, I'm just excited for the inevitable response from Jimbo Fisher and for those two to just keep going back and forth. That's what I'm here for now.
Oh, I mean, what else? I mean, please let there be a speaking engagement. Like all these coaches go on these, like the Tennessee does a little thing with the coaches. Please let there be one of those, like some today or tomorrow. We need it.
Be absolutely amazing. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Mitch Light from The Athletic. We'll get his thoughts on Nick Saban's comments last night and all things college football. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Heads up. 106.3 FM is a new way to hear 102.5 The Game from downtown Nashville to Spring Hill on I-65 and on I-24 to Murfreesboro. Make sure you have that preset on your radio dial. We're making it even easier to listen to Nashville's best sports talk.
This is going to be awesome. It's like, yes.
Tune in to 106.3.
That's what makes this team better.
And hear the difference.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Bring Me the Horizon, live in concert, September 28th, Nashville Municipal Auditorium. With special guests, Knocked Loose, Grandson, and Sick Brain. On sale this Friday, 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon live. Welcomed by 1029 The Buzz. The latest EP, post-human survival horror, out now.
Sounds Baseball is back. Catch the action at First Horizon Park tonight at 6:35 as the Nashville Sounds take on the Louisville Bats. Throwback Thursday returns as the Sounds wear their classic 1978 throwback uniforms. Plus, there are $2 and $3 drink specials throughout the park. For tickets, visit NashvilleSounds.com.
The deals at Electronic Express are heating up. Prepare for Memorial Day with brands like Charbroil, Yeti, Samsung, LG, Vornado, and more. Electronic Express has huge savings in every department. Outdoor living, appliances, 4K TVs, smart home, furniture, and more. Plus, save up to 40% on all appliances with up to 36 months free.